What's up, guys? Welcome back to GTech Finance. My name is George, and let's get right into today's topic. So, Bitcoin reached an all time high. It crossed the $50,000 mark. This is after Apple and MasterCard announced that they are getting into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space. This is huge news. It made the price of Bitcoin surge so much. And before we get into Apple and MasterCard, there was another huge catalyst in this past week that boosted the price of Bitcoin, which was the announcement from the oldest bank in America, BNY, the Mellon Bank, New York Mellon Bank, that they would custody Bitcoin. The reason that this is such a huge deal is because BNY Mellon's reputation is very conservative. So this means banks will be able to create their own stable coins. They'll actually be properly regulated, unlike Tether. We will also see things like crypto loans. And this is thanks in part to the OCC, a regulatory branch of the US Treasury that regulates banks. But there's a much bigger impact of what this means for investors. We will see a future where asset digitization is standard. Imagine you own a house, but instead of selling it, you would create tokens of your house for other people to buy into and invest with. But let's say you live in a certain state and you want to buy real estate in another one because it's a global market. But you want to buy, instead of buying a house, you buy a stock. And instead of the stock, you want a specific house. So you buy a token of the house. Tokenization will allow you, in this case, to invest your money into hyper-specific assets and own a partial percent of it, where you can sell it at any moment and collect a profit or a loss if you're cutting losses when you want. And this will not be limited to investors such like real estate investors or retail investors. We're going to see this happen with the collectibles market. And we're seeing it already happening with collectible markets already. And in the near future, you'll have people like Mr. Beast or Logan Paul or these high-profile YouTubers like Logan Paul did with the Pokemon cards. And they will create their own tokens for us to invest in them as if they were some kind of corporation, maybe, who knows. And this is wild, and it's just the beginning. That's even better. And another thing that happened is that the city of Miami became the first city to get official approval to integrate Bitcoin. This makes Miami the first city of the United States to do this, which means Miami will likely convert some of its cash into Bitcoin. And two, they will be able to pay city fees and taxes with Bitcoin. And three, people will be able to have a part of their salaries paid in Bitcoin. This, I say it again for the third time, is huge. And we also had Venmo announce its participation in crypto space to follow PayPal's announcement. Because last time PayPal did, if I'm not mistaken, a $450 million conversion into Bitcoin, their stock absolutely went to the moon. And now we also have MasterCard and Apple who are getting into cryptocurrency space. MasterCards will now let merchants accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. Lastly, Apple will partner with BitPay to integrate Bitcoin into Apple Pay. You'll now be able to use your BitPay debit card with an Apple Pay, meaning you'll be able to spend your Bitcoins anywhere and in any company except Apple Pay. While this is not the same as these companies adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet, it's still a massive step in the right direction and just the beginning. Thanks to Elon Musk and Tesla announcing their integration of Bitcoin, we're going to see a lot of new big companies lining up, and they're going to collaborate with banks to come forward and compete with their own crypto products. So in my opinion, you should buy Bitcoin even at its all-time high of $50,000. Truth is, it's going to continue to be manipulated in price just like it's been since the start. We're going to see crashes again, just like we have before. That crash can bring it down to, it shouldn't be more than $30,000, because if we say $15,000, I think it's wild, but who knows? Anything can happen right now. So we'll continue crashing upward and downward and upward again and then downward, and this is exactly how it works. So the institutions and hedge funds with billions of dollars have slowly started to enter this cryptocurrency market, which means the market cap of Bitcoin has grown exponentially. This makes it so much more difficult to manipulate its price, meaning it's unlikely that it will crash 90% more I mean, it's not impossible, but it's unlikely. And if I were starting to invest Bitcoin, which I probably can't now, but I would dollar cost average 10% of my income into Bitcoin, even at these prices, because I think that in the months coming, and may eventually years coming, $50,000 would look cheap, because when it was like 17,000, I was like, wow, this is huge, and now it's basically tripled. Now again, I'd like to say that none of this is to be considered as investment advice. It's only for entertainment purposes. And actually, there's a last thing I wanted to talk about, because if you go to the Treasury, their note is about inflation. It was during the pandemic lower than 1, and now it's almost 1.28, which means we might see inflation coming. And knowing that Bitcoin is a decentralized digital asset that's also deflationary, we might see, when the inflation rate comes up, a huge, or actually not a huge, but a big jump in Bitcoin price. And that's it for today, and hope you enjoyed the video. If so, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, it would help us massively. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bells. I post here pretty much daily, and see you guys next time.